Hey, I'm back. This is Chandler for Melda Production, and today I'm going to show you how you can create some kind of weird computer noises and effects using MRingmodulatorMB. This is actually very important to use the MB version for this because you need the modulators for this, but we aren't going to be using any of the multibands here. This isn't the most versatile effect, but it is something kind of cool, and every once in a while you might find it useful. So let's get started. So I'll just go in here and I'll just open it to one band. We're going to inside the edit screen here. I'll bypass it and I should have a normal guitar sound here. So nothing special, and I'm going to be using the guitar here, but you could use this with a synthesizer, voice, anything. So it doesn't really matter. Try this with lots of different sources. So if I turn this on, you see we have oscillator 1 and we have a frequency of 1000, so it sounds like this. So you can kind of hear my original signal, but you hear it's being modulated by this frequency. And if we change the frequency, you'll get different sounds. I think when it gets that high, it's not so useful. Maybe about 4,000 or so, I think, is the cutoff for me, what I think is useful. And also you have this phase knob here. This gives it some stereo width like this. Set it at 0. So if you like that, you can do that. And now you're just hearing the sound of the ring modulation, but if you use the depth here, and you can somewhat play chords through it too. Not the greatest sound, but you can hear them through there. So you can do that. You also have a second oscillator here. So this is just one. I can turn on 2 as well. So you can use both if you want. For this, I'm not going to do it, but if you like that, you definitely can. You can also go in here and change the different shapes here. So this is a sine wave, triangle wave. Square wave. So those different waves will give you different sounds. I'll even try it with the saw wave. So as you hear, like, you can get lots of different types of tones out of that. So experiment with that. But what I'm really going to do here is let's modulate this frequency. So you've heard it if it's down here. I'll play just a note C. Move it up. Now each time I'm playing that same C, but you're getting a different sound. So what I want to do is I want to modulate this. So go here to mod 1, I'm going to click clear and learn and just move this, maybe down between like 200 and maybe 3,000, 4,000, like that. It doesn't have to be precise. And if I turn it on, you see it's moving and it's just being controlled by an LFO. So if I play just C, and that's interesting just by itself. We can make it go faster like this. So you could use that for just some kind of like weird space sounds if you like. And instead of using the LFO here, we could use like an envelope as well. So let's see if I just want to make something kind of go up. Like that. Even add something weird like this in there. all sorts of things. So we can have lots of fun with that, but I'm going to go back to the LFO here. I can control the frequency here, or I can sync it up to the tempo, which we might want to do for this. So let's set this to, let's see, a whole note here. And instead of using this LFO like this, let's do something else. Let's try the step sequencer. This is going to give us more of that computer sound. So I'm just going to go into here, click edit, and just set this randomly for now. Here, like this. Okay, and when I play, it's going to move through here, and this should give us more of a computer sound like this. So as you can hear, it's giving us that kind of like glitchy sound, and I'm not even doing anything. I'm just holding the note C. If I want it faster, I can change to half notes. And even quarter note. That may be too fast, though. Kind of sounds like my phone alarm when I wake up, but anyways. And you can, of course, play it with lots of different notes like this. But as I play that, you can't really hear what I'm playing at all because this pattern kind of takes over everything. So for this, I might want to bring the depth down a bit. See how this sounds. And so you're getting that, kind of glitchy sound, and that's what we want. So this is almost perfect, but the problem I have with this is if I play something, it's always that same pattern, and to me, I want to just mix it up a little bit. So what we can do is we can engage another modulator here, and we can modulate this cutoff frequency, or the max frequency here. So I'll do clear and learn. This maybe down to 600 or so, like that. Oh, here. There we go. So now we have this LFO modulating that value. So let's turn this on, make sure it's enabled here. And if we look in mod 1, you see this is moving with that LFO. So let's listen to that. And of course, you can set it using the LFO. You can sync it up as well. I usually think this sounds a little bit better slower. We can do double step sequencer here, do the same thing, like these all around, like this. So now we're getting a little bit more movement to it, and that sounds interesting to me. A few other things you can do is we can use the random modulator here, and now it should move around randomly like this. So that's one thing you can do there. Let's see. Actually, that wasn't that smooth. Let's see if we can get it to move a little bit smoother here. Actually, speed is a little bit too fast. So a little bit slower there. Yeah, move between that. Turn the projection off. That projection actually makes it move in conjunction with this, which is why it's jumping around. So we have it here. Now it'll move around a little bit more smoothly here. So make sure that projection's off. And finally, you can control it with your pitch. So depending on how low or high the note is I play. This will only track monophonically, so keep that in mind. I'll move it up here since I think the lowest note on the guitar is like 83 hertz or so. So I'll move it up there and maybe like 2000 here. And watch as I play low notes and high notes how this max frequency moves around. So that's just another thing you can do. So hopefully this gave you some ideas of things you can try with this. Probably not the effect you can use on everything, but it is kind of interesting sometimes to use it. So give it a try if you need that kind of robot sound. And sometimes you might find it useful. And if you do find it useful, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave those down below. And be sure to check out all the other plugins at melderproduction.com. Till next time, see you.